Hello Game of Thrones and Ireland fans. Appreciate you coming to the channel and checking us out. Now we all know that Ireland is a very beautiful place, as you can see here. Northern Ireland is no exception. It's an extremely beautiful and gorgeous area. And so even if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, you'll enjoy this content because these locations are gorgeous in and of themselves, and most of these locations are very historical. So they're definitely worth a visit, whether you're a Game of Thrones fan or not. So let's get right into it, and let's see the top Game of Thrones filming locations in Northern Ireland. First stop on our tour is called Tollymore Forest. There is the Abbey Bridge, which is where they filmed the scene where the Starks find the Direwolf pups, as you see here. Now, they had several other filming locations in the forest, such as the White Walkers were first spotted in this forest. They made the whole forest look like winter. They filmed several different scenes in this forest, but this is the only one we really had time to get to. You can see here that the video where we're walking around, this is the exact location where they actually found those pups. It's a beautiful, beautiful forest. If we could have, we would have spent an entire day on this forest. It's so pretty, so many walking trails and hiking trails. It's definitely a must-see. And I would tell you to devote more time to this as you can, just because it's such a beautiful place, but it's great. Next stop on the tour was Dunluce Castle. Now this was the setting for Pyke Castle, which was the House of Greyjoy. And you can see that the top of this is mainly CGI or matte paintings. But the reality is it was a ruin up on the top of this hill next to the beach. It's a fantastic location. I had my drone with me at the time we were here, and because of the weather I was unable to fly it. I totally regret that ever since. But definitely stop by if you get a chance. It's a great location. Our next location was Inch Abbey. This is where Robb Stark pitched camp near Riverrun. His mother came to visit, as you can see in that photo. It's also where he was proclaimed King of the North. What you're going to see here are some people parading down in some capes and flags. They're carrying swords. These are some of the Game of Thrones tours that come to all of these different sites. And you can take one of these tours. It definitely costs money. Or you can do what we did, which was just essentially find all these places, maybe use this YouTube video as a guide. But you can visit all these places on your own without having to spend any money. And also you're not limited time-wise because you're kind of running your own schedule. And that's kind of what we preferred. Next on our tour is Winterfell. This is the main Stark castle in the north. And as you can see all of this here, this scene was filmed entirely there. The castle in the background you see is more CGI. As well as the tower on the right here is CGI, as the tower on the left, as you see here, is really the only tower that they have. This place is called Castle Ward, and you can tour it. And this is some of these scenes. If you go around the corner, you'll come up to the entrance here. But Castle Ward's definitely a great place to visit, so check it out. In front of most of these Game of Thrones sites, you'll see a placard, just like you see here, that showcases the location, tells you a little bit about what occurred at that location and what they shot there. In this case, this is called Cushendun Caves. This is where Melisandre gave birth to the Shadow Baby, and they also use that in the final season is where Jaime Lannister and Euron Greyjoy here battled in their final battle of the final episode of the final season. And literally this spot I'm filming here is the exact spot where they were rolling around fighting, just as you see here. It's kind of pretty cool to think that I was kind of walking in this exact location where they kind of had this little battle and where Melisandre gave birth. If you notice, my daughter's standing right in front of the little puddle that Jaime Lannister just walked across. And as he exits this cave, you'll notice that he's walking up to a wall with a torch. Well, we're walking towards that same wall, and it's actually the exit to the cave, so they must have added that with a green screen and CGI, because this is literally the exit or the entrance to the cave. There is no wall, there is no torch, so it's movie magic at its best. But it's a beautiful location. The town is beautiful. It's definitely worth checking out when you get there. Welcome to the Dark Hedges. As the sign says, it's one of the most photographed natural phenomenon in Ireland. And it's an amazing, amazing sight to see. As you can see here, it was used as the King's Road. This is where the Night's Watch headed from the north, from King's Landing with Arya. It was used, mainly in that scene. But ever since then, this has been wildly popular with tourists. There's no real parking. If you want to go see it, it's kind of a drive. Although, as you see, as we're kind of driving through here, a lot of people will pull over to the side of the road and park and walk. But there is no real parking. There's no, you don't have to pay to go here. It's just a nice drive, and it's just a beautifully arched driveway. And a lot of, originally I think this led up to an estate, but they have since kind of bypassed the estate. And so it no longer goes towards the estate. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, please like this video and also subscribe to us. We'd love to have you see future content as we release it. Also, I was driving down here, I saw my brother, cousins, and my dad along here. We didn't know they were going to be here. They just happened to be there. There's my dad there on the left in the green shirt, and I had no idea they were going to be there, so it was kind of a coincidence. The next location is called Larrybane. Now, it's not actually the main thing you want to see when you go there. Larrybane is just the parking lot of the Carrick-A-Rede rope bridge, as you see here. The rope bridge is actually what you want to go see. It's just kind of a bonus that one of the filming locations of Game of Thrones was here. It was Renly Baratheon's camp, and this is also where Brienne of Tarth is first introduced. Look in the background where the horses are riding, you can kind of make out the rope bridge there between those two hills. Over to the right here, this is where the actual parking lot is located, where those tents are. And you can see here the actual cars parking in the lot. If you do come to the rope bridge, I strongly suggest you make reservations because it does fill up quickly. So definitely make reservations before you go. Down the road from Carrick-A-Rede rope bridge, probably not more than maybe 10 or 15 minutes, is Ballintoy Harbour. This was used as sort of the Iron Islands Dragonstone port. And this is where Euron Greyjoy first came back to the Iron Islands. You can see from the original footage of the Game of Thrones that they made this harbor look very period, with all the set dressings and accoutrements that came along with that. And I think they did a great job with it. Here's Euron Greyjoy climbing up the steps of the harbor. And when he gets to the top, you're going to notice a little building in the distance. And that's actually the gift shop / snack bar and bathrooms where you can go and utilize the facilities while you're there at Ballintoy Harbour. Word of warning, Ballintoy Harbour has a small parking lot, so it's hard to find a parking sometimes. So you might have to drive around a little while before you find a spot. Our last stop is Mussenden Temple and Downhill Beach. Now, Downhill Beach was Dragonstone, essentially. This is where Stannis Baratheon denounced the 7 gods of Westeros. And at the very top of the hill here, you're going to see this temple. And inside this temple, if you go inside and you look out the window, what you're going to see is Downhill Beach. And that is where Stannis Baratheon lit the fires and burned several people down there. And but it's a very beautiful beach, wonderful view. Here's kind of the scene. Here in this scene, you'll notice the hill up at the top. That's actually where Mussenden Temple is located at the very top. But of course, it's replaced with castles with CGI. But here's kind of the scene as you saw it on film. Here's a view out the front window of the Mussenden Temple, or I should say the back window of the Mussenden Temple. So that shows you the front side of the beach instead of the side view of the beach. Just a huge drop-off and a gorgeous place to visit. In addition to the temple and the beach, there's some other ruins on the property, as well as extensive trail system, park, playground. It's absolutely gorgeous. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like it, and please subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you as subscribers. And feel free to make any comments below, and we'll be happy to answer any questions for you.